I want to tell you, every one of us are expected to be a leader. Every one of us in our life at every point in time must exhibit leadership skills. We are all told in management, literature, practice, everywhere, we are told, find out what is in it for you. So what is happening now? Every one of us know what is a good thing to do, but we do something else. There is a gap now. When you ask who is a leader, you want to point him. Will you do it? I do not know. That is what is happening. So in Samaja, every one of us can do what we can. We don't have to look at X, Y and Z. We should bring the genuinity. Here is a situation which requires a response. I feel this requires a response. I will do what I can rather than worrying about what should be done, what I can do. This is like the squirrel in Ramayana. If anybody behaves like that, that person will become inspirational. Leadership is bringing inspiration out of you. Do you need a CEO card for it? Do you have to be in the top of the organization to do that? Do you need a muscle to do that? Do you need money to do that? No. You need to be what is called a karma yogi. Karma yoga is respond to a situation spontaneously. This situation demands a response. This is what I can do. I will do without asking, do I get any prayojana? What is in it for me? If you remove it, you will become inspirational in life. If you become inspirational in life, your work is inspiration, you are an inspirational leader, life is inspiration, everything. Faith is very, very important in life, in anything that you do. A Nobel laureate's greatest raw material is faith, not his chemistry, physics, knowledge and all that. 30 years he thinks I will find something interesting here. He gets Nobel Prize after 30 years, not on day one. He doesn't even know on day one what will happen, but he has faith. Something will come out of it. Inner development. Westerners don't know what is inner development. The entire Vedanta is about inner development. We have answers for it. If you develop your inside, you will be a great leader. Outside and all later. Strong religious belief. A Westerner American is saying, great leaders seem to have strong religious belief, faith. We think these are all old fashioned today. Our modern education is telling us these are all useless. I am telling you these are the most important things in your life. That's why this university wants to do all that. I want to give a perspective of leadership. I don't think we need a CEO card. I don't need a vice chancellor card, or I don't need a card which says I am fairly top in my organization to call myself as a leader. Every one of us is a leader, have to be a leader. First, I want you to take this mindset out of you. See, there was a car driver in IIM Bangalore. One of the best leaders I have ever seen in my life. So by your, status and position in the organization, he will never be a leader. Car driver to bahut niche hai in an organization. So first of all, I want to tell you, leader is not one who is fairly sitting at the top. Although people who are sitting at the top generally are thought as leaders, but there are a many number of people who are sitting in the top who never have leadership. That is also there. And there are a lot of people who are at the bottom most in the hierarchy. When I say bottom and top, anyata na chintayantu. I am not telling in a derogatory sense. In an organization, you have level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. When I say bottom, somebody who is lower in the hierarchy. He or she can be a very, very powerful leader. So the first thing I want to tell you is leadership has nothing to do with your position. Sometimes position can help. If you are the head of the family, it can help. If you are fairly higher in the pecking order, it will help. Every one of us have to be a leader. We are born, I don't believe leaders have to be created. I think all of us have phenomenal leadership in us. Now we need to understand then what is this leadership. So my whole definition and what I am going to do today is, or I am going to take 3 or 4 videos and show it to you. Leadership is best shown than talked. Very little I am going to use. I will bring. When I show a video, I will bring a discussion which will take the best things out of the video. But I want to tell you, every one of us are expected to be a leader. Every one of us in our life at every point in time must exhibit leadership skills. We don't have to wait for a position, we don't have to wait for a status, we don't have to wait for something so that I can become leader. All these are not correct. So I want to first start with this idea. Now I will show you the first video. I do not know whether I showed this video before, but I will show you this video, just a 1 minute video. Some of you would have seen it.
सर आपके लिए उस पार कार का इंतजाम किया है सर आइए सर ये चल चल पकड़ के उठो पकड़ के उठो और हवा पकड़ के चलो I hate this country चलो तो हिंदुस्तान चले तुम चलो तो हिंदुस्तान चले तुम चलो तो हिंदुस्तान चले तुम चलो तो हिंदुस्तान चले लगा हाथ के सूरज सुबह निकाला करे हथेलियों में भरे धूप और उछाला करे ओ लगा हाथ के सूरज सुबह निकाला करे हथेलियों में भरे धूप और उछाल करे उफक पे पाँव रखो और चलो पकड़ के चलो उफक पे पाँव रखो और चलो पकड़ के चलो फलक पकड़ के उठो और हवा पकड़ के चलो फलक पकड़ के उठो और हवा पकड़ के चलो फलक पकड़ के उठो और हवा पकड़ के चलो तुम चलो तो हिंदुस्तान चले तुम चलो तो हिंदुस्तान चले हिंदुस्तान चले
So I have now 3 questions here. So the question is, who is the leader? Question number 1. Why do you think he or she is a leader? Question number 2. Question number 3. Why did you think he is a leader? Just 1 or 2 attributes. Let us not, and we should not say few sentences. We should say one phrase, 1 word or 2 words. Sir, this is why this person is a leader. So I want 5 people to volunteer and tell me. Let's start with you first. Who is the leader in this video? Okay, small boy. The small boy is your leader. Why do you think he is a leader? Okay. Any other? Let me ask you. Okay. Takes responsibility. Nobody told him. That's what she is saying. To solve the problem. He takes responsibility for solving the problem. That is why you think he motivated others to do the work. Okay. So now I am not going to ask who is leader. Everybody is going to say the small boy. Let me only ask why. Anything else? Okay. He is the first mover. Therefore, you think he is a leader, correct? Anything else? Okay, I will replace your word. He had terrific faith that this will be solved. He had faith. Otherwise, a person who is weighing 30 kilograms, it will be sheer foolishness for him to go and keep shaking a 20-ton wood. He had deep faith. Faith in him that this will be solved. Now, if I had asked, there are some elderly people, I must ask, sir, you must tell me, sir, Why is he a leader? Huh? Selfless service. What I want to tell you is, by today's leadership theory and practice, this fellow will fail minus infinity marks, not even 0 marks out of 100 as a leader. He will not pass leadership at all by today's theory and practice. You may ask why. Today's theory, many of the working people will understand what I am saying. There are two things about leadership which we all teach in IIM, in Harvard Business School. You go everywhere, we do the same thing. We teach the same thing. What do we say? Don't take extraordinary risk. This fellow took phenomenal risk. Imagine he is shaking all the time, nobody came around him, everybody will be laughing at him. After some time, people can start yelling, shouting at him, so, ridiculing him, throwing, anything could have happened. He took phenomenal risk. No leaders are coached, no leaders are taught, no leaders practice it in such a way, they take phenomenal risk, they take only some risk. This is beyond imagination. Therefore, in today's terms, he would have been branded not a leader. This is reason one. Reason two, we are all told in management literature, practice, everywhere, we are told, find out what is in it for you. Kim prayojanam bhavati? Vina prayojanam mandaha pina pravartate. That is what we are told. What is his use? Nothing. He was anyway walking. If you are at least going on a car, then this car is not going to reach home, so therefore he has a prayojana. Atra prayojanam kimapi nasti. Tasya na avashyakam. Tatra vrikshasya etat tatra bhavati va nava iti tasya manasi chintana eva na avashyakam. Why did he do? There is no benefit for him. Zero benefit. In other words, there is no what is in it for me. What is in it for me? Zero. If I use these two yardsticks, I have to brand him as a useless leader. Because that is practice. Yet all of you said he is the leader. I would also say he is the leader. So what is happening now? Our practice is different. So what is happening now? Every one of us know what is a good thing to do. But we do something else. There is a gap now. When you ask who is a leader, you want to point him. Will you do it? I do not know. That is what is happening. But this video is bringing a very important principle. And what is that principle? If somebody, all that you said are true. What is it saying? If any person has the ability to spontaneously react to a situation. See, what was the problem? There is a trunk on the middle of the road. Sarvam sthagitam tatra. Gamana gamana vyavasthayam bahan kleshaha abhavat. Traffic and all is stopped. There is a problem. Every one of us in our life, in every moment of our life, we face situations. Kimapi bhavati, asmin sandarbhe kimapi bhavishyati, kinchit kalata anantaram. So when a situation demands a response, if I spontaneously respond, and how do I respond? This is the right thing to do. Not worry about, do I get any prayojana? Can I do it? This situation, what did the boy feel? Oh, this tree is creating a problem. So many people are suffering. It is not a rocket science. Everybody knows this problem has to be solved. But that thinking, that spontaneously, a situation demands a response, and that response, if every one of us can do only what we can do. See, the boy cannot order a crane and bring a crane and lift it, all that he cannot do. But every one of us can contribute to respond to a situation in the best way that I can. What can this boy do? This is all he can do. So in Samaja, every one of us can do what we can. We don't have to look at X, Y and Z. We should bring the genuinity. Here is a situation which requires a response. I feel this requires a response. I will do what I can rather than worrying about what should be done, what I can do. This is like the squirrel in Ramayana. If anybody behaves like that, that person will become inspirational. He became contagious. That old man, that lady, everybody, there was some energy flowing out of this 3 feet person. That is leadership. Leadership is bringing inspiration out of you. Correct? So that is what this video is saying. So the first element of leadership. So do you need a CEO card for it? Do you have to be in the top of the organization to do that? Do you need a muscle to do that? Do you need money to do that? No. You need to be what is called a karma yogi. This is, people ask me, what is karma yoga? Karma yoga is respond to your situation spontaneously. That is the definition of karma yoga. This situation demands a response. This is what I can do. I will do without asking, do I get any prayojana? You will be inspirational. You will inspire 1,000 people around you. That is one hallmark of leadership. So that is the first message. Now I bring a little theory also. There are so many theories in leadership. When I studied, there are only 2 theories, theory X and theory Y, 40 years back, 30 years back. Maybe some of them are still being taught that here. They are all gone now. There are 40 theories in leadership. But what is so interesting is all these theories are moving towards Indian Vedanta. Crux of the leadership theories are hitting. Look at this man, is a Jim Collins, great bestseller book, Good to Great. It's a book called Good to Great. In that he talked about level 5 leadership. So I want to show you a little bit of level 5 leadership. I see a lot of Bhagavad Gita ideas, Vedanta ideas in what but they are all moving. They finally found this is where the answer is. Anyway, he said there are 5 levels of leadership. All of us can grow. We will start here. I think when we have started, you pass out from this university, you go, you should focus only on this. You should be a very valuable individual. People must say, hey, this boy is very good here, this girl is so good, solid. Yeah, what she or he takes thoroughly and does it, she knows what expertise is there. This is our journey of leadership. Highly capable individual, make productive contribution, let somebody decide what is to be contributed, put your best foot forward. This is our growth of leadership. Then he says level 2, contributing team member. From individual, you have to now know how to work with people. That's what we want to train you here also. We want you to do group work, sit down, agree, disagree, even when you disagree. I'll tell you the greatest strength in life is you should comfortably live with disagreements. People throw their weight and shout. That's never develop individuals. Life will have a lot of disagreements. How do I handle it and then move on? So you have to go there, contributing team member. Your capability you bring, give and take. People don't agree with what you say, that's fine. This is what it is, this is what I feel, this is what has to be done. You agree 70% of them, that's okay. But I will do what is best that I can do. I'll contribute the best way. Then level 3, competent manager. You go further more and now you have to inspire people. If you develop in this, you will be able to do that. You inspire people around. Because you are now in a position also to do it, that's what he is talking. Then he talks an effective leader. Now you are also responsible for performance. It's not just managing team. You have to bring so much of revenue, so much of business growth, so much of improvement. Organization is asking you to do. Sarvam kartum avakashah labhyate asmin sandarbhe. So that is level 4. Then he talks about the ultimate of leadership. I find every principle he talks about are in Bhagavad Gita, but I will tell you what he talks. This is a pinnacle of leadership he is talking. Western world has taken 2000 years to come where we started. I will show you a little bit. So Jim Collins in level 5, he actually looked at a lot of companies and found failed companies and good companies, good to great. From good, these companies go to great. Some companies from good, they fall. They are called failed companies. These are called great companies. So he showed what happened in failed companies, what happened in great companies. So this is what happened in failed companies. Leaders were thinking they are more or less like God, larger than life celebrity. I am a celebrity. Only because of me this organization is running. As though all of them are idiots. I am the only one God. I have directly descended with a lot of brain. I have a lot of ideas. None of them have any ideas. Better listen to me. Take instructions from me and work. You will all be okay. I will bless you every day. These people are like that. They never make leadership. Those people go out of organizations very fast also. They don't stay. Okay? Concern more about their own reputation. They are so selfish. They are concerned only about themselves, then organization. Okay? I. Everything is I. I and mine. I am important. I am the important person. I know everything. I am the genius. You are all listen to me. It's called leader follower. I will lead, you follow. As though I have no brains. This is how some people think. They think they are so genius, the rest are all as though they are all useless people. And now I have to educate them and make them better. Right? Charisma. When I was a student of leadership, I was told charisma is great. Strength of leadership is charisma. Today this theory is completely destroyed. Charisma can be the biggest villain in leadership. Charisma is not good. Sometimes charisma is so bad. Charisma is bad. Too much of charisma is not a good idea. Because charisma comes out of ahankar. This charisma only bloats up my ahankar. I am great. I am an extraordinary person. They are never leadership. If you have any such ideas, you will never become a leader on any day. Let me tell you. Leadership is a very beautiful way of working with others. Seeing that there is a common thing on which we can flourish. Okay? Then he said, how do these people work? They work like this. For them, company is a platform to show their extraordinary character. Others are all puppets. So it is like a weak general and a strong lieutenant giving instructions in army. You take the instruction and then work. No, you don't use your brains. That is the model. Okay? Genius. So he is a genius and there are 1,000 helpers. They will only take instructions and do what needs to be done. Evam katapi na karaniyam. Nobody can become a great leader by behaving like this. I think every one of us are great. Of course, we are great in our own ways. 1,000 flowers must blossom. Each one of them has its own color, shade, fragrance, size, everything. That is a beautiful garden. Not to have one banyan tree and not even one speck or blade of grass can grow. When there is a huge banyan tree, below one blade of grass will not grow. That's not interesting. It should be a multiple colored flowered garden. Whereas this is a banyan tree which is good for nothing. Nothing will grow below that. It's that variety. Failed leaders. Then there is, he said, level 5 leaders. He said some things which nobody understood. He said these leaders are absolutely simple. They look like a chaprasi by look. They were very sada sida. But they were extraordinarily good. Unless you deal with them, you never know. On just face of, oh, this looks like a sada sida fellow. I have seen, God has been kind to me. I have seen 12 leaders like that. Extraordinarily great leaders, they will look sada sida. First time without knowing who he is, if you go, he may think he is one of the lower division clerk or he is actually the CEO of the company. They are people who have inspired. So it is a paradoxical blend of personal humility. There are people with humility, intense professional will. They want to make a difference to the institution or the place. It can be family, it can be a NGO, it can be a social gathering, it can be a temple committee, it can be anything. Not only in company. In a temple, you are in a committee, you can inspire to be a leader. All this is possible in a temple. Okay? They channel their ego away. They want institution first. This has to be sorted out. The boy said this has to be sorted out. This is not good. This tree cannot be like this. Correct? So that's what it is. Ambition is institution first, then not themselves. And these leaders do something very interesting. It's called window and mirror approach. You know what it is? Suppose I am the leader. Leader meaning I am the CEO and so many people are working. We are doing a project. The project is a great success. Project is a huge success. If the project is a huge success, leader will open the window and look out. You know what it means? He is finding out who is to take the credit. I am not going to take the credit. Who is going to take the credit of the 1,000 people? That is called window approach. If the project is utter failure, the leader will go in front of a life-size mirror and he will see himself. Means he says, I will take the entire credit for failure. When success comes, I will not touch. It is for all of you. When failure comes, I will say it is because of me. That's called window and mirror approach. Mirror means you go and see yourself in a life-size mirror. You will see only you. So this entire loss is because of you. If it is a great success, you look out the window. That means there are so many of my employees, they are all the ones who take the credit. That's very difficult. But if somebody can do it, he or she will be a great leader. Right? Then he said so many things. Bhagavad Gita addressed all of them. That's why I use the word faith. When you said determination, I use the word faith. Faith is very, very important in life, in anything that you do. A Nobel laureate's greatest raw material is faith, not his chemistry, physics, knowledge and all that. 30 years he thinks I will find something interesting here. He gets Nobel Prize after 30 years, not on day one. He doesn't even know on day one what will happen, but he has faith. Something will come out of it. Without faith, we will not go anywhere in life. When you have less faith, you will find the world is so complicated, everybody is conspiring against me, I have been unfair to me, this happens, that happens. This is how we live. If you hold on to this pillar called faith, none of them can distract you because you have an unflinching faith. I am born here for a purpose. I will do that before I die. That's all we need in life. You will be a leader. You don't need degree and all. You take it. Wherever you go, you will succeed. Faith is very important. Unwavering faith, he says in his research. Okay? Significant life experiences that spark. Something happened to them, life-changing experience. Baba Amte, right? Or this person, this our, who is the other person? Ralegan. Anna Hazare, how many of you know? He was a truck driver. Out of 42 people, 41 people died. He survived in a landmine. This is called significant life experience. So when he survived, the first question he asked is, God has made me alive for some reason. His life changed. It was not a trauma for him. It was not a shock for him. He said, out of 42 people, I alone survived. There must be a reason for it. I think I should make a difference to the world and go. Baba Amte had, every one of them had great leaders. If you read, you will find this. They will have some significant life experience. Inner development. Westerners don't know what is inner development. The entire Vedanta is about inner development. Bhagavad Gita, you take inner development. Westerners don't know how to articulate this, but they keep saying this nowadays. Every now and then they use the word inner development, self, like that. We have answers for it. If you develop your inside, you will be a great leader. Outside and all later. Inner development, strong religious belief. A Westerner American is saying, great leaders seem to have strong religious belief, faith. We think these are all old fashioned today. Our modern education is telling us these are all useless. I am telling you these are the most important things in your life. That's why this university wants to do all that. All that we do in this university, 20 years later it will come back to you. You will be eternally grateful to yourself. Forget about us. God has brought you here. You have not come on your own. It's a divine will you came here. These are all very, very important. Nobody is talking about it. You will see it when you are 40, not now. So all these are available. Intense humility and will, Bhagavad Gita talks about it. Window and mirror approach, if you have to do, you need what is called titiksha. Matra sparshas tu kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkataha agamapaino anityaha tam titiksha swabharata. Samadukke sukhe kritva labha labho jaya jayo tatho yuddhaya yujyasva naivam papam avapsi. 40 places Krishna talks about all this. Without this you cannot do window and mirror. If you want to do window and mirror, you must first take your hands off. You should not get attached too much. It will not. That's why Krishna says, Padmapatra Ivambasi. This water on the lotus leaf. Without that you can't do all these. It's very nice to read. It's all available. Right? Inner development. So much in Indian literature. Inner development. One big leadership today everybody is talking about is authentic leader. I am going to spend a little time on that also. Okay. How many of you know of this lady? Subhashini Mistry. Have you anybody heard of her? Anybody here? Internet is full of people who can simply fire you with inspiration if you know what to look for in an internet. I will now show you a short video. Before that, I will tell you, this lady was a domestic servant getting 7 rupees per month, 40 kilometers away from Kolkata. She lost her husband. Medical treatment. She could not give medical treatment. The husband dies. 3 children. Significant experiences that spark life, I told, no? You know what she did? She did not commit suicide and killed, nothing she did. That night when the husband died, she said, what happened to my husband will not happen to another poor in this country. Just like the boy, a 20 kilogram boy took the courage to say, I will shake a 20-ton wood. A domestic help is making a statement, what happened to me will not happen. And she went to such an extent. Gopala Krishna Gandhi, the governor of West Bengal, opened a hospital built by this lady who earned 7 rupees per day. Can any of you do in your life? That is called inspiration. I will show you the video. 2 minutes I will show you. Then we will discuss. This is the hospital she has built. She is ready.
আমার স্বামী বিনা চিকিৎসা মারা গেছে। তখন আমি বলিনি যে আমি হসপিটাল করব, কিন্তু আমার বিনা চিকিৎসা স্বামী মারা গেছে বলে আমার মনে ওটা স্বপ্ন ছিল যে আমি কোনো রকমের যদি বিকে শিক্ষে করে যদি ছেলের মানুষ করতে পারি, আমি ওরে ডাক্তারি করাবো। অনেক কষ্ট, অনেক পেটের জ্বালা সহ্য করে মানুষ হয়েছে। পরের বাড়ি ঝিগিরি করতে, চায়ের দোকানে খেটেছে, ভেড়ি পানা তুলতাম, ওর বীজ চাষ করতে পারি, ধাপায় কয়লা গুড়িয়েছি, আবের আটি বিক্রি করে টিফিন খেয়েছি, এই চপ্পল বিক্রি করে টিফিন খেয়েছি। 2 পয়সা রাখতাম, 2 পয়সা খেতাম, ঘর ভাড়ায় থাকতাম। তখন শুনলাম যে এই জমি বিক্রি হয়ে যাচ্ছে। আমার ছেলেদের নিয়ে মার সাথে গিয়ে বাবু 2 পা জুড়ে ধরে, যে পয়সা দর দিয়ে বেচবে আমার একটু কম পয়সাতে জমিটা আমাকে দিন। তা সত্যি বাবু আমার কথা রেখে কম পয়সায় জমিটা আমি কিনলাম। কেউ দিচ্ছে বেড, কেউ মেশিন, আমার তার কেনার ক্ষমতা নেই। আমি লোকের কাছে যেতাম, ছেলেতে ভিক্ষে করেছি, যা দিয়েছে তাই নিয়েছি।
This hospital is 45 bed, and now we want to run this hospital in all respect. That will be run full-fledged. Other than this hospital, we want to start our old age home and orphanage home with very short period.
অনেক দুঃখ করেছি, আর ঈশ্বরকে ডেকেছি, আর মনের জোর রেখেছি। আমি তো চিরকাল বাঁচবো না, এটা করতে পারলেই চলবে।
So she realized with a housemaid, she was getting 7 rupees, 2 rupees for rent, then 3 children to be fed. She said, I saved 1 rupee per month. She said, at this rate, how am I going to build a hospital? Then she said, no, let me go closer to Calcutta. Let me make a little more money. She was in 24 Parganas, little outside Calcutta. So let me go near Calcutta, salary will be more. Then she says, no, let me sell vegetable, the margin is more. Every one of us will be ashamed by seeing the thing that she did. She said, let me sell vegetable, I will make a little more money. God was so kind. God made his son a doctor. That boy, that person with the specs, no, it is his son. God has been so kind. This boy was so bright, he became a doctor. Then she actually, all that she said, she found a land, and then the boy put up this thing, 45 bed hospital. The then governor of West Bengal came and opened. Narendra Modi is locating such people and giving Padma Shri. She got Padma Shri last year. This lady got Padma Shri last year. And you know what she is saying today? She says, I belong to the payment. This belongs to the people. She has gone back to sell vegetable. She doesn't claim any ownership here. She worked for 30-40 years to build the hospital, and she says, I don't belong to this. My world is I am a vegetable vendor. There are many videos. You will actually she will be sitting on the Calcutta pavement and selling vegetable. What do you think of her? Why is she a leader? Is she a leader first of all? Do you think she is a leader? Why? Krishna uses a word Loka Sangraha. And do you know who is the greatest king that we should know? Not Ashoka. Those are all England people have taught us. One of the greatest kings we should know is Janaka. Loka Sangraham eva sampashyan Janakadeha sampashyan kartumarhasi, 19th shloka in chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita. A leader will always not say what is in it for me. His envelope will become bigger. His envelope will become bigger. If he becomes so selfish, he will never be a leader. I will tell you, he may make some money, I do not know. He will not die peacefully. That sense of fulfillment and completeness comes when you are able to stretch yourself. And this lady, out of all odds, there are a lot of things common between this lady and boy. I want you to go and think about it. Please go and think what is common between these two. The episode is completely different, but there are many things which are common between the boy and this lady. Because leadership, therefore in Bhagavad Gita, in a very big way, Krishna has addressed this again. This is what Krishna says. Very categorically he says, Name partasi kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana. There is nothing for me to do in the three worlds. If there is nothing for me to do in the three worlds, you should actually enjoy sitting in a couch potato with two remote controls in your hand. One remote control for your AC, one remote control for your TV, and this is a reclining couch potato, and then you like this. Krishna says not like that. He says, Na anavaptam avaptavyam. You ask me, is there anything you never achieved in your life? No, sir, that list is empty. Avaptavyam, is there a wish list for the past? That is also empty. So even when I don't benefit, Vartayevacha karmani, I will be always engaged in work. This is the spirit of Karma Yoga. This is the central theme of Karma Yoga. Such people will be hugely inspirational in life. It is, inspiration is so contagious. That's why I am saying you can be in the lower organization, you can be in the middle, you can be in the top, you can be the youngest person in your family, you can be the head of the family, it doesn't matter. You will radiate with inspiration if you take what is in it for me out. Throw it out of your bucket, it will be wonderful. That's what our literature says. This is how leadership will be groomed in this country. That's why he says, Yajñartam karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. Tadartam karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. Mukta sangha, don't get attached. The day you get too much attached, you will be full of surprises and pluses and minuses and disappointments and sukha and dukkha and all that. If you move one step behind, the same activity will be wonderful. This you have to experience. I cannot teach you, I cannot explain it in many words. We should have our anubhuti, we have to try for ourselves. You step one step back and do the same work. You will feel less pressurized, you will feel more energy. That's what Krishna is saying. Tadartam karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. Mukta sangha samachara means what is in it for me, you move little away. Today it is a vice-like grip. Everything I want a benefit. Krishna is saying loosen it. Slightly loosen it, not even too much. Slightly loosen it and see for yourself. What will happen? The life will be very different, your job will be very different, things will be very different when you go out and do things in your life. So it's all inspirational. The central theme here is, what is in it for me will destroy you. Thousands and millions of people have been destroyed, and thousands and millions will continue to be destroyed because they don't have the benefit of this wisdom. So this is not going to go, but those who know what is in it for me. If you remove it, you will become inspirational in life. If you become inspirational in life, your work is inspiration, you are an inspirational leader, life is inspiration, everything. Subhashini Mistry, you read about her, your energy will go, vitamin will not give you that much energy. I mean, somebody doing 1,000 miles away, you read. I am not asking you to do anything, please read. You read 10 pages, your energy will go up. Which a vitamin tablet cannot give you, and somebody sitting 2,000 kilometers away can do it. That is called inspiration. That is true leadership, right? So humility and will, mental equipoise, titiksha. This will give titiksha. This will give. What did she say? She said, I will be dead. Did you notice what she said? She said, I will be dead. This hospital will remain. We all must work for that in life. You must say, when I leave a place, I should leave an impact. Otherwise, there is nothing worthwhile to do in life. Some positive impact. You don't have to measure whether it is too much, too little. I am not saying that. This attitude is very important. A true leader will have developed this attitude, leaving behind an impact when you go. That's all we must work for. Can I leave something behind when I go? People are happy about it. That's what it is. That's what she is saying. Yeah? So, what is in it for me if you take out? So many things will happen. You will be able to take a risk. That's what that boy did. That's what that lady did. A domestic servant saying, I am going to build a hospital, people will laugh at her. People say she is a mental case, take her to a mental hospital. Because they have not understood that her inner strength is, inner self is solid rock. People who have a hollow inner self will say she is an idiot, take her to a mental hospital. What is she talking about? But inner self is solid rock. Antarvyaktitva vikasa has happened to her. Because she will take risk. She will not bother about failures. Because nothing is going to affect me. All these will happen. And to do it, beautifully Krishna proposed what is called Karma Yoga. So beautifully he proposed an idea called Karma Yoga. I think I'll skip the Karma Yoga part of it. I'll skip all this. It's a nice flow chart to show you all that, but I'll skip it. I will take one more video now. It's a 7-minute video. Please carefully look at this video.
The movement that means you become part of the machine. It's a living thing with you riding. It gives you a great sense of freedom, of independence. It just makes you feel so alive when you are riding a motorcycle. My name is Talon Piggins. I race a motorcycle with Club Thunder Sport. The only difference between me and anybody else out there is that I'm paralysed from the chest down. But when I'm riding, I completely forget about my disability. I just feel like any other rider, any other racer, and I love being on a motorbike. We go back to the very distant past. I was a Royal Naval officer. Then I left the Royal Navy, travelled around Australia, went to London to seek my fortune, couldn't find it, and then became a PE teacher. But it was only 6 months into my first job as a PE teacher that I was knocked off my motorcycle. Car clipped me from the side. I went onto the other side of the road and I went straight into the path of the oncoming traffic. The car coming towards me didn't have time to take any avoiding action, went straight over the top of me. It shattered 2 bones in my back at T4, T5, and that paralysed me from the chest down, so basically nipple level down. I can't move, can't feel. Another millimetre of movement and I would be paralysed from the neck down. So I always think I'm very fortunate because I've got the use of my arms. I finally came out the back of the car only to see another one. I was like, oh no, I'm going to get run over twice, how unlucky. But fortunately that car stopped. And the bloke came out of his car and said those immortal words of, "Are you all right, mate?" And I'm like looking at him thinking, I've just been run over by a car. How blatantly I am not all right. And that's how my life changed in an instant. My consultant told me that I was paralysed from the chest down. I was never going to walk again. I had a 30% chance of survival and that I would be in hospital for anything up to 2 years due to the severity of the injuries. And my first thought was simply switch off all the life support. There's no way that I will cope being paralysed. You know, my life was about physical activity, about being out there doing stuff. From individual sports to team sports, I loved it all. I couldn't see any happiness, any joy, any reason to continue. After the frustration, the hopelessness turned into anger and hatred, hating the world, hating everybody that could walk, because they could do that simple action of standing around and walking and all those things that I wasn't going to be able to do. It's right, I got over that. I don't hate the world. I was very fortunate in hospital that a guy who had been paralysed, say 4 years before, he came in for his regular checkup. He came over and he said, look, being in a wheelchair is really tough. It's going to be hard, but there are lots of opportunities out there. And he told me that he had a girlfriend, that he drove his car, and then he told me that he had been skiing. But he told me there was this thing where you sat in a fiberglass seat on a metal frame with a single ski underneath you and these little baby crutches in your hands, and they had little baby skis on them, and you could go out there and go down the mountain. That was the moment that changed everything. Suddenly there was hope, and that hope then became sort of a purpose, I decided that I would learn to ski, that I would try and get into the British team and go to the Paralympics. 12 days after my accident, that became my goal. There is that mechanism inside each and every person to overcome any trauma that happens to them. There is an incredible reserve of strength and resilience inside each and every person. I thought, well, if I can go skiing, maybe I can get back on a motorbike. Instead of starting off small, I went into the showroom and did what's the biggest, shiniest motorbike I can possibly get? That one. I'll buy myself a GSXR 1000 K6. Tried all these different ways of adapting it, and then finally on my very first outing I went to a disused airfield in Cornwall. It lasted 5 minutes before I fell.
Okay, I'll stop here. Basically, we got the message. As you see, he is from a Navy, from Australia. He went to UK. All this must have happened. He must have been 27 years, 25 years, 27. Young person like every one of us with a lot of hope and energy in life. He goes to UK looking for a good job. He didn't really get good job. Finally, he goes as a physical education teacher, PE teacher. Then as he said, one day his bike had this thing. Before he can get up, one car ran over him. His T4, T5, everything was broken. He said, before he could get up, another car came. See the charm on his face. Do you think this person has gone through this kind of a problem in his life? He doesn't have a long face. He is so charming. Then the second car came, stopped, all that he said. He became completely paralyzed, which means only the two hands. The rest are all, I didn't show you. So he asked everybody, he said, I don't want life. I will end my life. Then he said, I met a fellow with so much of, who was worse than me. He told me, I am doing skiing. All that he told. Then he got into, I am not showing the video. What he did was, he brought all, gear is in a bike. Gear is also on the leg. Then you have the brake. He brought, because he can only use these two, nothing else. The rest of the body is of no use. He brought everything to the steering wheel. I mean that handlebar, na? He brought everything there. He became a professional biker, racing biker. And he says, when I am on the racing track, nobody cares whether I am disabled or life is not like that. Nobody is going to give you discount and all that. He said 3-4 times I have fallen. They will hit me. Everybody wants to win the race. If you have gone into that profession, you have to do what has to be done. So when you are on the bicycle rake, so people actually lift him for a bicycle rake. 4 people lift him and then put him on that bike because his leg and all will not work. He's paralyzed. They will tie him with all belt and then this fellow goes. This is this person. Now I want to ask a question. And this person is so charming, as though nothing happened to him. If at all anything, we are every day sulking for 1,000 reasons because God has given us everything pakka. My hand is okay, my leg is okay, my mind is working fortunately. Yet I am sulking because somebody did not see my photo and say like it. We have gone to such a bad level in this country. We have learned wrong things from the West. All nonsense we have learned from the West. We have lost our titiksha. Completely we have lost our titiksha. On some chota mota things we want to get depressed. And at this age, if we want to start like that, I don't know where we will end actually. But look at this person at the age of 27. How many of you have heard of this girl by name Arunima Sinha? How many of you have heard? You know what it is, right? There is a 18-minute video. Please go and see. That will be the last day you will complain anything in your life ever. Go and see that video. There is a TED talk. 18 minutes on Arunima Sinha. Go and see. The only person with 2 legs which were amputated. 49 trains run over her leg in the night. 49 trains. Hundreds of rats were eating her flesh and blood throughout the night. Because she was left unattended. Just because the necklace she had in her neck, one gold chain, from a running train they pulled the gold chain and they threw her out of her train at 60 km/h the train was running. And she fell on the other track and trains are running. From there, she is the only lady in the world who has peaked all the 5, including Mount Everest. 7, all she has scaled. Go and see that video, you will stop complaining anything in life. Because they are leaders for me. They are the leaders. Now I will come back to the question. Tell me what makes this person gets going after such a major catastrophe? What happened to him is not small here. Such a major catastrophe, no? God forbid we don't have anything. God has been very kind to me. So far nothing has happened. Of course I also had one little bit, all that is fine. I am back on action. But I am telling, what makes this person get going? Please tell me. Because you and I, we would have said that's the end of the story, enough. The whole world has conspired against me. I am the most unlucky person in the world. So I will take some sleeping pills and that's the end of the story. We think that is what life is. Not we, I am saying some people are like that. What makes him get going? Please tell me. Why is he going on? Huh? Faith in himself. Anything else? Yes. Joy for life. Okay. I like both the phrases. Anything else? In fact, the joy for life and faith in himself, both of them come from a source. It comes from us. There is an epicenter for each one of us. That's why this video was called The Little Person Inside. Did you see the title of this video? Each one of us have a little person inside. How do you know it? Vedanta is full of beautiful discussions of that. And the latest theory of leadership, I am now going to introduce the last theory of leadership to you with these examples. There is a latest theory of leadership which is actually trying to go in this direction, which our Vedanta and I have done so well. But first of all, I will show you. Who is this person if you had asked me? In fact, I asked this to some CEOs. The same lecture I did 4 days back, 14 CEOs came to my program. I asked them, please tell me, how will you describe this person? They all sat down and then gave me a list. I put the list in 5 compartments, what they gave. I will show you the 5 compartments. Somebody said, he is a man, he is not a woman. He is a man, he is 5 feet 2 inch, he is fair complexion. You can say all that, no? He looks charming. He is well built, although immobilized, but he is well built. All that you can say. This is called Annamaya Kosha. You can describe a person purely on physicality. Because they described, I did not describe. The CEOs described him like that. I told him, sir, in our Taittiriya Upanishad, there is something called Annamaya Kosha. This exactly is what is called, each one of us have 5 envelopes. 5 envelopes we have. This is the first envelope with which I could have described the razor. None of them is wrong. Is anything wrong? All of them are correct. Correct? I could have said he is a person with several months of hard work to go for bike racing. One person said that. No sir, after becoming immobilizing, how much effort, Arunima, you know how much effort she put before she goes to Everest, Mount Everest? Enormous effort. Right? Great fighter against all odds. Inspiring person, great motivator. We can say all that. This is called Pranamaya Kosha. These are all about life energy. We are describing a person with life energy. These are all descriptions of life energy. Each one of us have life energy. Correct? Person with positive attitude. Otherwise, you would have committed suicide long back. Today he is so charming. Person of grit and determination, the word she used. Grit and determination, desire to outgrow the limitations arising out of the accident. These are all working in the mind. These are all mind. It's called Manomaya Kosha. You are nothing but what your mind says. So this is what Taittiriya Upanishad and other Upanishads, it's all in many places. I am just, Taittiriya Upanishad is in 2 chapters, very nicely it is come. So I am using it again and again. It's called Manomaya Kosha. Right? Then, you can say, oh, he is a great thinker. Constant thinking to accomplish goals. Intelligent person. We describe people like that, no? Correct? Goal-oriented task planner. Strategist. He does very good strategy, otherwise he would not have come this far. It's called Vijnanamaya. There is a knowledge, you are describing him as a bundle of knowledge. Each one of us are also a bundle of knowledge. Correct? So our Upanishad says Vijnanamaya Kosha. This is called Vijnanamaya Kosha. Okay? Then, a person basking in satisfaction and fulfillment. Today he is satisfied with all that happened to him. Today, in fact, this was so difficult for me to lecture because 2 of us ran a CEO program. Me and my friend. My friend at the age of 27, after finishing PhD in IIM Bangalore, went under a truck. His right hand was gone. So he is standing by my side. I said, why did I show this video? I should talk about him. Professor Gopal Mahapatra, I will talk about him. He has artificial limb. Both of us are running this session. I said, I don't have to go all over the place. Look at this person. I asked him, can I do it? He said, okay. This happened 30 years back. He has a lot of gray matter with him. I said, look at this person. He lost his right leg in an accident at the age of 27 after he finished his PhD from IIM Bangalore. Straight went under a truck. Lost his right leg. He is nothing but inspiration. Happiness. So it's called Anandamaya Kosha. Yeah, I've seen any number of people. My colleague is like that. So every one of us is not this. All these are coming from epicenter. That epicenter made him get going. None of this made him going. All the engine for all of them is here. These are all hardcore Vedanta. Don't think Vedanta is for some people who have nothing. Vedanta is for you and me. You should know that there is an epicenter in me. That is the root cause of what is happening. That is why that person got up. And all, so these are only kosha. Kosha means only a layer. So it is envelope. So there are 5 envelopes. But inside the 5 envelope, that little person is there. Today's leadership theory is talking about what is called authentic leadership. You know what is authenticity? Authenticity is your ability to connect to this, not to any of this. That's a simple definition of authenticity. The biggest leadership theory that has come today is authentic leadership. I will quickly tell you what is authentic leadership. You have to be authentic in life. If you are authentic in life, you will be again a great leader. That's what this video is telling us. Yeah? So what is this authentic? Anyway, kosha and all that. You know, today 9 o'clock I am in Anandamaya Kosha. 9:15 I am the other end of it. Great Depression. So kosha can keep on changing, but the inner one will not change. The inner one will not change. The outer layer can keep on changing every now and then. Correct? You know, for my friend Gopal, Professor Gopal Mohapatra, his Annamaya Kosha is out by 15% of his Annamaya Kosha is out. Why? One hand is gone. But the person has not come down by 15%. His eye is the same eye. Just because one hand went, his eye did not become 85% eye. You take 2 of my legs, take 2 of my hand, my eye will be still eye. But Annamaya Kosha will come down to 40%. So the Kosha, anything can happen. The eye will not change. If you know how to connect your eye, you are an authentic leader. That's what Western literature is saying. They neither know how to find the eye, they don't know how to connect. That you have to read Indian literature. You will not get otherwise. If you don't read Indian literature and understand it, you will never become an authentic leader. But Western world today, they are shouting on the rooftop, authentic leadership, authentic leadership. They are, of course, they are really working hard and trying to get all the parameters. But we are sitting on a gold mine without knowing there is a gold mine which is telling us how to become authentic in life. So what is authenticity? Quickly. Individuals who are with their basic nature. I am what I am. I will not behave differently. I am that red color inner round circle which I showed. That's what I am. Always I am like that. Individuals who are with their basic nature clearly, accurately see themselves and their lives only with this. That's one definition of authenticity. Okay? Existing wholly by the laws of its own being. Every one of us is unique. Is Prakriti Visesha. Each one of us has a Prakriti. The Purusha sits with the Prakriti and creates this mansion. It's called Prakriti Visesha. That's authenticity. Acting in accord with true self. Owning one's personal experiences, thoughts, emotions, needs, wants, preferences, etc., etc., etc. And why? All this is to know that little person inside. If you start leading life like that, you will become more authentic. Whatever you do, you should say, it is for me to put the hook to that center red one. Then you become authentic in life. Okay? Expressing oneself in ways that are consistent with inner thoughts and feelings, not outer one, inner. Inner thoughts and feelings. One's relationship with oneself, not with somebody else. These are all called authenticity. The latest leadership theory, one of the latest leadership theories is called authentic leadership. So they are all talking this. How to get it? I just showed you sprinkled a sample of Panchakosha. Just to give you one way of understanding and a video which will connect it. So authentic leaders are like this. They will not fake their leadership. They will not think something and do something. Never do that. They will be true to themselves. This is what Mahadevan is. End of the story. Like it, take it. Don't. You ask me to go, I will happily go. You are also happy, I am also happy. Finished. I will not fake. If a person says like that, he is authentic. Don't take it for me. I am just giving an example. I am saying somebody says like that, right? Rather than conforming to the expectation of others, I will be with myself all the time. Krishna uses the word yukta. That's why he said, Nasti buddhi ayuktanam, nacha ayuktanam bhavat, abhava itaha kutash shantihi, kutash sukam, something is there. There is ashantasya kutash sukam. There is a shloka like that in chapter 2. You should be a yukta, you should not be a ayukta. Yukta is connected, ayukta is disconnected. You should never be disconnected with yourself, right? Motivated by personal convictions. Rather than status, honors and personal beliefs and so on. It is your authentic nature which should drive everything in life. You will get good sleep. You will have no conflicts. That will happen if you do this in life. Okay? Actions are originals, not copies. It's my own original. No photocopies, no Xerox material. Because it is mine. Correct? So actions are originals, not copies. Actions, why? Because they are based on my personal values and convictions. Correct? And then inspirational, leading with purpose, values and integrity. Such people will be inspirational. That's why that boy, that Subhashini Mistra, that they did what is very natural to them. That is their nature. You be with your nature, you will be a great leader. So I think I will stop here. I just wanted to quickly sprinkle some theory and practice, how it works and all that. I want to talk about level 5 leadership, I want to talk about, of course, Gita, I want to talk about authentic leadership. There are many more, but nothing like showing it rather than talking. After showing, I could have given you some examples, that's what I did. So you draw on your reserve of moral, you have an enormous reserve of moral capacity inside. Draw from there. Don't look outside. Draw from the reserves of moral capacity that you have inside. It's an infinite pond from which you draw your energy. That's what authentic leaders do. Okay? Self-awareness is very important. You should know yourself first. Don't think what others think of myself, then you will become a very weak person. You know yourself first. Forget about others. You know yourself. Who am I? What am I made of? Right? Leading by example. Authentic leaders will always lead by example because they do naturally what they have to do. They are not going to look around and then look where somebody is going to pat my back, somebody is going to say, you have done a great job. All those are not in their mind. They are connected to their inner world. That connection is not cut. So they will always lead by example. They know where they stand on important issues. Because, it will fit into their scheme of things and they will be like that. Even the failure, PSLV 3 failure 1973. Exactly. ISRO people have done it again and again. Abdul Kalam has narrated it. You are right. When the Rohini failed, 1973. Correct. R.K. Dhawan took the entire credit. R.K. Dhawan were great leaders like that in Indian space. R.K. Dhawan took the entire credit for the failure. He narrates it actually. Okay. I think we will take a break. Leadership, I know there is a course called LFL. Leadership is by practice. Please, there is plenty of inspirational videos. Extract leadership element from what you see as some of the great, think of a great person, look for a video, look at it and then ask what is going on here. You learn a lot on leadership. All the best. Yeah. Thank you.